What's up, guys? It's your girl T, and welcome to T's Hard Truths, where I say out loud what you all can only say in the comments. Because I'm not scary. I'm your host T, aka Slay, aka T Slay, aka Slay Bay if you nasty. And these are my unfiltered thoughts and takeaways. This is opinion, not instruction. So if I hit a nerve, fight me, ho. Otherwise, take it up with your God. Amen. I want to thank you all for joining me today. If you have not already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, notification bell, so that you can be notified whenever I drop episodes. I intend to drop episodes every Friday between 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. for the foreseeable future. Y'all know life be lifing. So right now we're going to jump right into the hot topics. We got a lot of ground to cover. And I'm not trying to have y'all here all night. I got somewhere to be. So recently, Chrisean Rock had her first professional boxing match. As many of you may know, Chrisean Rock is the baby mother of Blueface. They had several reality shows on the Zeus network, and they had a very tumultuous relationship. From my understanding, she was allegedly struggling with some substance abuse issues, and there's a lot of speculation around her baby. It has not been confirmed or denied exactly what illnesses, if any, her baby has, but there's a lot of speculation that her baby has several disorders. It's kind of been on the straight and narrow as of the past few months, or maybe a year. I'll give her a year. She's just been trying to turn her life around. She found God. She's very deep into her word, deep into her religion, and just like really seeking after God. That's what I respect about her. You know, I really find it hard to respect anybody that comes off of the Zeus network, but I see this young girl and she's really trying. She's really trying to make a way, especially now that she has a young son at that. So I give her props, if nothing else, for trying to do better. I think her fans, along with myself, were kind of pushing her towards boxing because the girl can fight. The girl whoops ass. And as somebody that was in them streets that's been a fighter, that baby tear ass. And it was almost just like her calling. To see her whooping girls left and right like this. This ain't no regular like bad girls club, baddies, you know, ass whooping she been handing out. She been whooping folks' mamas and sisters and shit for a long time. So it just made sense for her to go the path of professional boxing. So I'm glad she took up on that. She actually won the match. So kudos to her for that. But it's just been a lot of mess that she's been having to deal with, as far as, you know, people making all these speculations about her son, and, you know, she was drinking. Allegedly, she was drinking while she was pregnant. So supposedly her son has disorders due to that and all of this. But my whole thing, and I've said this on social media, is that it takes two people to make a baby. As far as we know, as far as the documents that we've seen, regardless of what anybody tries to say, Blueface is that child's father on paper. And they were both heavily drinking, heavily into drugs. And whether people realize it or not, a child can be born with disorders based on the father's drug and alcohol activity. There are children that are born, and I have people in my family that were born with fetal alcoholic syndrome due to the father's drinking habits. They have alcoholic fathers and they are fetal alcoholic babies. So I don't like the world that we live in where everything gets placed on the mother, but that's the patriarchy for you. I'm just happy that she is making a way for herself and her son. Because baby, that Luciferian baby daddy of hers would have been under my tires. I'm not even gonna lie to you. And the mama, oh, the mama would definitely be under my tires. And it just be so fake, especially when you know you raised a piece of shit. And then you gonna tell me about what I should be doing as a parent. You left something. The one that you gave birth to still needs some parenting, bitch. So you ain't got no space to tell me nothing. But yeah, child, I'm just glad she's doing what she needs to do for her baby. And hopefully whatever, if there are any issues with her son, if he isn't meeting those developmental milestones, she does take the necessary steps to get him to where he needs to be. All right. Moving on. Speaking of the Zeus Network, I want it burned. I want the whole network burned, like down. Burn the whole network down. Like, we're tired. With everything that's going on in the world, it's like cult leader, Baddie's USA. The cult leader is blowing up this country. The cult leader is stealing children out of this country. Baddie's USA. Like, I don't understand. Who is funding this? Because it can't just be Lemmy. Lemmy and Joseline. Joseline Hernandez. She came from Love and Hip Hop. Most of y'all know her. She was with Stevie. She was a side chick to Stevie J when he had a situation with his baby mother, and then she got away from him, got with this other guy, got her own show on the Zeus network, exploiting more women like herself. And now apparently her and Lemmy, the owner of Zeus Network, which is a shady character. He's a rat in himself. Like, for those who don't know, you can do a little bit of research. But Lemuel Plummer, however you say his name, Lemuel Plummer actually stole Zeus Network from a band of creatives that actually worked together to put together Zeus Networks, and had a bunch of content on there before they became mainstream. They had a bunch of content on there from different creators and everything, and it was nothing like it is today. So I'm looking forward to that civil suit coming out. But yeah, he's been very exploitative for the better part of 10 years now. So it's not a surprise to me that these people that he has now, that he's giving shows to now, are saying basically that he's exploited them. But him and Joseline are having some kind of beef, and she's saying that he's trying to kill her. She's getting online crying and all of this stuff. And I hope that, I've seen a change in Joseline as well. Joseline has gotten with this guy. She got married. She has another baby on the way. And it just, even watching the later episodes of Joseline's Cabaret, it looks like she's kind of getting to a point, to an age where she's over it. Because she's my age. I'm 38. She's probably like 37 or something like that, if not 38. But she's getting kind of tired. You can see that she's getting over it or whatever. But it's like, you really got away from your oppressors and the people that exploited you just to exploit other girls. I could never respect that. So sorry. You could have done anything. You could have been anything, but you were chasing after the dollar, and you got hooked up with Lemmy, did a deal with the devil to exploit other girls, and now, hi, reap. So what were you expecting? There's no way that people didn't see this coming. But you know what? I would say Natalie Nunn, but her and Lemmy are one and the same. For those who don't know, Natalie Nunn, if you've been watching her since her first day of Bad Girls Club, the original show that she was on, I believe it used to come on VH1, she was everything but black. I don't even remember exactly what she's mixed with. I think she's like Brazilian, Filipino, Puerto Rican. She was everything but black, and she made sure that we knew it every chance she got. When she came in the house day one, there were other girls in there, and she's talking about, she's drawing pictures of them or writing next to their picture that they look like monkeys and all of this other stuff. Very derogatory things towards black girls. So she's never wanted to be associated with blackness until it was beneficial. Okay? Same with Lemmy, right? He don't mess with black folk like that unless he can get $1 off of them. So he found somebody, he partnered with Natalie, somebody who was down with the cause, and they expanded Zeus Network. But mark my words, your day is coming for the both of you, especially Natalie, because again, we're in the patriarchy. So before he ever takes the fall, the hit for anything, baby, you will be down under the ship. So God bless, good riddance. I hope that this is the turning point, the end of an era, and we're getting rid of Zeus Network for good. And now the topic that everyone has been speaking about for the week. By the time it got to today, I just felt like there's so much that has been said about Megan Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson. The majority of it has been said by me on my platforms. If you're not following me, go ahead. Follow me on Instagram at t.slay.unfiltered. On TikTok, tslaynunfiltered, one word. On Facebook, Slay Idris. But I've said everything. I think my closing thoughts on it is that this may hurt Megan now, as every heartbreak does. But I feel like heartbreak and betrayal when it comes to a man is temporary. It may stick with you for a while, but at some point you're able to move on and, get back to life as you know it. Things may change. You may trust people differently. You may view love differently, what have you. But I feel like it hurts the man long term, because men tend to have these epiphanies at a certain age and start to sing their shoulda, coulda, wouldas. I honestly feel like Klay is going to get to a point where he's old, retired, God forbid he has an injury or whatever. You know how them old basketball niggas do. Think about them niggas that you was in high school with that have all them stories. Yeah, I was supposed to be drafted. I was supposed to make it to the NBA. Yeah, you know I had Tiana Taylor phone number. Like, nigga, you are not Iman Shumpert. Stop. Okay? Just stop. I was D1. I played for the AAU team. I was supposed to get drafted. I was gonna be third round. Stop. We don't believe you. Okay? But yeah, I feel like he's gonna be one of those cases where, you know, God forbid he has an injury, or he retired. He's gonna have a hard time thinking of, you know, all the things that he sacrificed for that lifestyle. And I really honestly believe Megan's gonna be one of those. I honestly believe, like, say what y'all want about her, Megan Thee Stallion is just one of those girls. Megan is one of those girls that you brag on. Yeah, I had Megan. So I could see him being like 50, 60 years old, sitting up, single as hell, talking about, yeah, you know, I could have had Megan Thee Stallion. I could have married Megan Thee Stallion. Why didn't you? Why didn't you? Don't brag about it now. Don't brag about how amazing she is now, how amazing she was back then. No, you had the opportunity to do right, and now you're alone, and you realizing that don't none of these other bitches care about anything except your pockets. Because ain't too many people. What other relationship? He was with Coco and another actress woman. We never even knew it. Who was claiming Klay publicly like that? Who was all over the blogs with Klay, like proud to be with Klay Thompson? This African American. Who was proud to be with this man like this? So when you start to realize these girls don't want shit, and you really actually corny as fuck to them, they really don't want you for you, you're going to think back on Megan. You're going to think back on Megan. And somebody said something the other day about these niggas that's in the comments cheering and going and hoorahing and shit. They said that what Klay did gives men an excuse to be nothing ass niggas. What he did gives men a pass, makes them feel like they have a pass to be ain't shit. And it sets us back as a society, honestly, as a community. That's my biggest concern from them, because everybody's like, oh, this is a celebrity couple. They wasn't even together they was only together for a year. Why does everybody care so much? It affects us as a community because a lot of us see ourselves in Meg. We trusted this man. We had him all over everywhere, everything. We even turned him up, turned his style up and everything. Made him look like a cool nigga. For you to play like that, when you could have just said what it was from the beginning. So we see ourselves in it. And for me, my biggest thing is, how do we heal? Like, as a community, we talk about how people don't value marriage anymore, especially within the Black community. You know, people don't take relationships seriously. All the relationships that you kind of looked up to have kind of fallen apart and stuff like that. There are no more relationship goals and shit. But it's like, how do we get to a place where we're able to redefine relationship goals? How do we get to a point where we're able to come back together as man and woman? Because it's not like it has been done before. Our grandparents, our ancestors went through some of the most difficult times together. And you can blame it on anything. You can say, oh, well, the government forced the Black men out the home. Okay. I think we all pretty much have a concept of that. How do we move forward? How do we get back to what a better version? I won't say back to it. How do we get to a better version of what our grandparents had? Because let's be honest. Yes, our grandparents were married for 25, 30 years, but a lot of them was miserable as fuck. A lot of them was just waiting for the other one to die. So let's not do that. Let's not stay in toxicity for 3 decades. But let's get to a point where we actually, at the very least, we like each other again. And in order for us to do that, there's going to be some hard truths that come out. We're going to have some difficult conversations. There's ways that we both can improve. Black men and Black women, we both can improve. But honestly, we have to stop hurting each other just for fun, just for shits and giggles. Because this feels very premeditated. This whole thing with Klay Thompson feels very premeditated. I'm not even going to lie to you. You waited until you had that girl hook, line, and sinker to show your ass. And purposely, it feels very purpose in the particular style of humiliation that you caused towards this girl. And I want y'all to get out the end now with all this badass advice. Off these shows, off these platforms with all this badass advice. I saw yesterday, Sherri Shepherd was talking on her show. And I'm not gonna lie, I used to love Sherry Shepherd down, but it's just this is the second time she said something about Meg that made me like, bitch, whose side are you on? You ain't got to be a stan, but it's like be FFR, if nothing else. If you're not gonna do nothing else in this world, be FFR. Okay? So she told Meg announced that she is, stepping back from her role in Moulin Rouge. She was in Moulin Rouge on Broadway. Huge opportunity. I was looking forward to going to see her. Huge opportunity, but this is a lot on her. Meg, I think people forget Meg has been through so much in the span of 8 years or so, 7, 8 years. Lost her mother, lost her dad, lost her grandmother, got shot, just all kind of crazy shit, right? And for everything that happens to her, about 70, 60% of the general public blames her for it. They drag this girl unrelentlessly for anything that happens to her. Granted, you can't always be the victim, but anything that blatantly happens to her, they drag her for it. And it's just crazy. Like, my God, how much is a person expected to take? So to see someone like that and take them up and decide, I'm going to play in her face. You don't know if you're that person's 13th reason. That's the part I don't understand. Like, we've strayed that far away from humanity. We don't even care if we're the next person's 13th reason. That's how far we've strayed. But back to Sherry Shepherd, she said, well, when it was announced that she was stepping back from Moulin Rouge, she said, girl, don't let him mess up your money. Like Beyonce said, the best revenge is your paper. Ma'am, she's stepping back to take care of herself mentally. Again, this is a woman that has been through unimaginable grief, strife, heartbreak, okay? Lost both of her parents and her grandma. Usually, I would imagine, you lose your parents, that's life altering. But you might have a grandparent that might be there she don't even have a grandparent, babe. She has no one, no siblings, nothing. All right. So think about everything that she's been through. She's literally been going through all of this on her own. If anybody deserves a mental health day, I'm taking one next week. All right. I ain't got shit going on. If anybody deserves a mental health day, it's Megan Thee Stallion. Okay. So we're not going to sit here and play like, oh, she messing up her bag over a nigga. No, that baby needs a break. She needs a break. I fully support that. Anybody telling her otherwise, y'all do not have that girl's best interest at heart. And Sherry said something. She said something like, you better work that booty. You better let that booty work or some shit, she said. And I'm like, hold up. This the same Sherry Shepherd that just, 2 years ago tried to tell Megan that she needs to be more of a role model when she wore that green dress with the pasties on the red carpet. This is the same lady that told her she needs to be more of a role model that is now telling her to go shake her ass for money. Y'all elders are losing the plot. I'm not going to lie to you. And being a auntie now, myself, I can tell you, y'all elders are losing the plot. And you're showing more and more every day why the younger generation, the Gen Xers and all of that, they don't listen to you because they see how flawed and how fraud y'all are. Yeah, child. Sending thoughts, prayers, love, light, strength to Megan Thee Stallion. I pray that she's somewhere just taking care of herself, her mental. One thing I will say, girl, don't check up out of here. And I know don't nobody want to say it, but I'm going to say it because I ain't scary. Don't check up out of here. Don't check up out of here. Don't give these niggas the satisfaction. We live in a society to where, scratch what I said earlier. I feel like a lot of these motherfuckers want to be your 13th reason. They want to see how far they can push you until you check up out of here. Don't check up out of here, I'm telling you. They gonna clown you worse if you check up out of here. It ain't gonna be no, you have your fans and everything, and we gonna be sad and hurt and everything. But them motherfuckers are going to be laughing. We are not giving them the last laugh by any means. And if you want to go to Carnival, hit me up. T Travels. Hit me up, girl. I'm ready to take you on the road. That's how I got on my divorce, child. I got on the road with all them West Indian men, had me some rum, had me some fish cakes in Barbados. It'll make it all right. Hit me up, girl, if you see this. Anyway, child. Entertainment news. Moving into the next topic, because I really feel like a lot of these parasocial relationships that you're seeing online now have resulted from reality TV. Because of reality TV, you know, back in the day, we always talk about back in the day, but, you know, you had to, in order to connect with a celebrity or something, you had to write a letter, wait months, maybe a year. Hopefully somebody that wasn't even them, somebody from their fan club or some shit would respond to you. Now it's like direct access. And I feel like reality TV and seeing into these people's lives, people getting a glimpse of these people's lives and wanting to be a part of that has created this stan culture, these parasocial relationships to where now people's lives are in jeopardy. Because if you think about it, everybody, y'all remember Yolanda Saldivar, the woman who murdered Selena? Now, all of these stans are basically, we're living in a society of Yolanda Saldivars. Do you know how scary that is? Like, the way that these people be going at it, the way that these fan bases be going at it is very scary. I like to think that everybody's pussy, so I don't think that I don't think it will actually come to a point where, you know, someone is unalive. But like, what if they do? You think about the Rihanna situation just recently. This woman shot outside of Rihanna's home. First of all, I want to know why she was even able to get that close. Everybody's like, well, how did she get the address? It was a setup, blah, 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 blah. But all of this stuff is public record. Number one, why? Number two, I feel like if I pay a certain amount of money for a certain amount of access, nobody else that didn't pay that money should have access. Like, it's not that hard. Brick this bitch up. Put up a wall. What y'all president say? Put up the wall. We not... with my babies inside. And I really feel like, you know, God bless me, bless my pockets, but I feel like there's a reason. I feel like I got a lot of growing and healing to do before he lets me touch my millions, because I think her bail is like $1.4 million or something like that. I'm not gonna lie to you. If I had Rihanna money, I would bail her out. Bitch, you blow up my house, you gotta see me. You blow up my house, you gotta see me. If I had $1.4 million or however much her bail is, I would bail her out. I'm not going to incriminate myself further, but I'm just saying I would bail her out of jail if I had Rihanna's money. Because you got to see me, for sure. You blew up my house with my babies inside, you definitely got to see me. But it's just, it's getting very, very weird, very, very spooky. We like to act like, you know, well, they're human. They're not better than anybody. It's not about being better. It's that if I pay a certain amount of money for a certain amount of exclusivity, privacy to live in a certain neighborhood or whatever, your regular ass should not have access. Sorry, call it capitalism, but bitch, I work very hard for my things and for my privacy and for my space. It's unfortunate. And it's even if you're a private person like Rihanna and others, because we live in a society to where, you know, you have stan culture and you have social media, you have reality TV, and people get to see your lives, and these people still have to live. They still have to go shopping and stuff like that. People have so much direct access to you. Even if you're a private person, you're not afforded the luxury of being able to say, I'm living a private life. I don't want anybody to see me. I don't want anybody over here in my space or anything like that, because it's a free for all at this point. And I'm not so sure that was a good thing. I honestly feel like whoever started reality TV, social media, and all that stuff had this planned all along. They wanted to grant that access and remove that gap between the general public and celebrities for a reason. So last week, Cardi B wrapped up her Little Miss Drama tour. I believe she did 35 cities across the U.S. I was fortunate enough to be able to attend the Chicago show back in March, and it was a blast. Like, top 3 concerts I've ever attended in my life. If you want to see the full review, it's over on my TikTok or on my Instagram. And man, I'm just so proud of Cardi. Like, she's really a Cinderella story if you ever heard of one. And I just love the fact that she literally uses the hate and negative press as fuel to her fire. And it's like, because you said I wasn't going to do this, because you said I couldn't do it, I'm definitely going to do it. And she executes every time. I'm so proud of her. And it's just crazy, again, to watch the stands, go back and forth. And every time she does something, well, she's not going to do this. Every time she announces that she's doing something or says she wants to do something, you're not going to do this. You're not going to be able to do this. Especially when it comes to like the Barbs. Well, she's not going to do this. She's not going to break no records. Nobody going to that show. I'm going to clown y'all every chance I get for saying, oh, well, ain't nobody going to that tour. She ain't going to be able to sell out that tour. She sold it out. Let's take it back to, oh, well, she ain't never dropping another album. She ain't never coming with another album. Y'all can stop waiting on. She ain't never coming with another album. Drops the album, it does numbers. Well, it's not going to sell no records. It ain't going to break no records. Broke all the records. Broke all the records. It's going to flop. It ain't going to do numbers. It ain't going to do this. It ain't going to do that. Broke all the records. Sure did. Announces a tour. She pregnant. She finna have that baby. She not going to make it on no tour. She not going to get through no tour. Not only does she tour, she has the highest grossing female rap debut tour in history. What? Stop telling this girl she can't do stuff. Stop telling Cardi B she can't do stuff. Please. You're embarrassing yourselves. Stop telling this girl every single thing that y'all tell her she can't do. She's going to go out of her way to do it. And do it 10 times better than what y'all expected her to do. Stop. If y'all don't say nothing, maybe she'll stop. Maybe she'll stop. Y'all got a better chance of leaving that lady alone to get her to stop breaking all these records and spanking y'all faves ass. Y'all got a better chance if y'all just don't say nothing. Don't tell her what she can't do. Clearly, that method does not work. And I think it's funny because I know a lot of y'all be going to these shows and buying these records just to talk shit about them. Because y'all that slow. Y'all don't realize y'all helping her? Because everybody, let's be honest, everybody ain't a Cardi B fan. Everybody ain't a fan of this person, that person. Everybody ain't a Meg Thee Stallion fan, whatever. But y'all be helping them by talking about them, by circulating their name, by buying the album just to see if it's trash, going to the concerts just to see if it's trash. Y'all be fans for real. Y'all just don't want to accept it. Y'all don't want to accept the fact that y'all aren't as loyal to y'all faves as y'all thought y'all was. But guess what? God gave you a brain so that you can like multiple people, so that you can multitask. Use it. It's okay to think for yourself and be your own person. I swear to God it is. Moving on. The Michael movie just premiered and I have not gotten a chance to see it yet. Maya went inside. Maya is my daughter. She went inside and she loved it. She did warn me that, it kind of cut off before any of the real adult drama began. And I've been seeing all of these clips, all of this never before seen footage all over my timeline. Just different Michael Jackson clips and edits and stuff like that. And I think about how, how us millennials, a lot of us are like, oh, I wish I was born earlier. I wish I really got a chance to experience the 80s and the 90s. My perspective on that has definitely changed. I definitely feel like I would have been a crackhead right now if I was born any earlier in the 80s. If I was like an adult or a teenager in the 80s or 90s, I definitely would be a crackhead right now. I think what y'all don't factor in is the fact that a lot of the things that happened in the 80s and 90s, a lot of the cool shit was very much drug induced. Okay. So when you see the people falling out at the Michael Jackson show, no doubt he was the king. His aura alone will do it to you. Okay. But we need to start being honest and say that a lot of these people that was falling out and like being taken out by the dozens on stretchers were on drugs. There was heavy opioid usage back then. Remember. Okay. So you're seeing this person, this great, magnificent person, their aura is just cannot be contained, but also you're very high. Okay. So I just want us to be mindful of that and how very different our lives would be today if we came up in that time. But I am happy to have been old enough to experience Michael and his music, and his everything that he was, his showmanship. And I'm even happier. You know what? I'm really happy when it comes to the discussion around Michael Jackson. My daughter is 20, right? And I mean, from the time she was a little girl, that girl knows Michael Jackson songs that I've never heard before. I'm 38. She's 20. She knows more Michael Jackson music than I do. I'm talking about she was 3 when he passed away. She knows everything there is to know about Michael Jackson, and she don't play about him. I'm talking about she was doing my hair and my lashes yesterday. Hair and lashes by Maya's Lace Lab. I'll link her below, of course. My daughter does hair and lashes now. So she was doing my hair and my lashes last night, and I can hear her AirPods blasting Michael Jackson like it just came out. And this ain't just because the movie came out. This is her blasting Michael Jackson like he just dropped. Like he just dropped the album. So it's that lasting impact, and having a child in that time, in that generation, that number one, she looks up to me musically. She very much has adopted my taste in music. So I'm very much a 90s R&B girly. I don't do a whole lot of hip hop, soca, Caribbean music, dance hall. All of that is her. Kehlani, SZA, all of that, Summer Walker, all of that, that's her through and through. But she definitely has an older soul, because she will sit and listen to Michael Jackson for hours. She most definitely will. And a lot of like 90s acts, there's things that I've heard her listening to and stuff. The other day she was listening, I went down in her room, and she was listening to Cut Close. She was listening to some old Cut Close. Like, there's stuff that's in her repertoire, in her playlist, that I don't know nothing about. Like, I could walk up on her, she'd be like, "What you know about that young blood?" I don't be knowing nothing about them old. Like, she mess around, have some Womack and Womack on her playlist. I don't know what that child be listening to, baby. That is an old lady. But yeah, that's the lasting impact that I think of when I think of Michael Jackson. So I'm happy they did the movie. From what I understand, there was a lot of, back and forth, a lot of issues with some of the key players in Michael's story, that didn't really want to have anything to do with the movie, and that's unfortunate. Hopefully we will get a movie that goes a little bit further, delves a little bit deeper into his life, his legacy, and the people that were actually there. Hopefully they can come to some, because everybody that I've talked to is saying that there needs to be a part 2, there needs to be a continuation, because it cuts off so early in his life. So hopefully the next movie they can get everybody on board and tell his story the right way. Next, I wanted to discuss Chloe Bailey. Chloe Bailey dropped this pic on social media this week, and got a lot of backlash, mostly from the men. The girls were giving her a 10s. She looks super cute. I like the look. It's very different. Us cancer girlies, we're always in our creative bag, just trying different things that most people would be afraid of. And this was just one of those things. It was something cute and fun. And there was like all this uproar and all this hoopla. And it's just like, honestly, these days it's getting very exhausting to be a girl. Just for simply existing as a girl. Everything from she looks satanic, oh, why is she trying to look younger? This isn't her. She's trying to give bad bitch and she's not a bad bitch. The picture to me doesn't give a pretentious bad bitch. It looks like some silly girly pop, almost like K-pop kind of thing she was trying to do, or whatever she was experimenting with, or whatever. But they're like, oh, she's trying to be a bad bitch and she's just not that. And number one, I don't like when the men are in the comments downplaying women as if they wouldn't sell their left nut to eat her butt. No one believes you, by the way, despite your best efforts to pretend that you're not attracted to this woman as a means of coping with the fact that you'll never get close enough to her to smell her twerk wind. Furthermore, what is y'all obsession with trying to tell people who they are? Half of you hoes don't know who you are or who your daddy is. So why are you trying to tell the next woman who she is? How about trying to figure out who your baby daddy is? Let's start there. Okay? All right. Anyway, child. Moving on. Speaking of Chloe Bailey, IShowSpeed is on his Caribbean tour. And if you know me, you know how excited I am about this. Not just about him being in the Caribbean. For those who don't know, I love the Caribbean. But really, he is a modern day all-American boy. Whether they'll ever give him that title or not, he really is. And the fact that he's going around to all these different places, he's done an Asia tour, he's done a Europe tour and everything. But the Africa and the Caribbean tours are the most special to us because he's really showing other young black boys and young black people in general that there is so much more to the world than where they are right now. There is a home to go back to. These people love you. These people will accept you. And these people are a lot like you, despite the centuries of our oppressors trying to tell us otherwise, trying to tell us that we couldn't go back, that we wouldn't be accepted, creating this division, all these lies, keeping us, in turmoil and beefs, unnecessary beefs with each other, the diaspora wars. Now you have Caribbean country against Caribbean country. Baby, y'all are all CARICOM. What are y'all beefing for? And then you have, Caribbean people sticking up their noses at American people, African American people sticking up their noses at African and Caribbean people. It's time. All this divisiveness has to stop. We are all literally, we came on the same boat, different stops. Now we in the same boat again. And we need to figure out how to get out of this shit together. All right. And I feel like, people like IShowSpeed are bridging this gap. For those who don't know, I have a travel concierge service that basically focuses on bringing my people back to the diaspora through festival travel, just traveling to the Caribbean mostly, and Africa, just bringing our people back home. And seeing Speed do what he's doing is just a reminder of why I started doing what I do. Because we need to come together. At the end of the day, all of this shit is going to fall. Olympus will fall. We need to buddy up and figure out where we can go, who we can be with, we need community. There's no getting around it. So fuck anybody else that'll try to tell you that these people don't like you, or these people don't want you over here, or these people are stealing something that's entitled to you. No, they're not. Because guess what? I don't know if y'all watched the news lately or y'all took a look outside, but none of us are entitled to shit. All right? Y'all's president, he's made that very clear. None of us are entitled to shit. Okay? So it's best that we buddy up and try to figure out how we finna get out of this mess. Okay? So kudos to Speed, IShowSpeed, on his journey. Safe travels. I understand. I was actually watching the stream the other day when he first got to St. Martin, and that heat exhaustion got to his ass. He kind of fainted a little bit, but he was fine. I did not see him stream yesterday. I hope he is okay. But yeah, that heat exhaustion is very real. If you're going to do something like that, if by chance Speed or anybody who is thinking about doing a tour like that sees this, please make sure you hydrate. I understand the life of a streamer is just to keep going. You can't stop the stream, can't cut the stream, or you don't want to cut it too much. But please make sure you are hydrated. I think I saw that boy drink two, maybe 3 bottles of water. Baby, you should have water in your hand at all times. If you're gonna be going like that in the Caribbean, jumping in and out of spaces, going in and outside, putting on different clothes, putting on the traditional mask wears and costumes and things, you need to be hydrated for that. It's very important. And I noticed that his skin was kind of breaking out. Put some aloe on my boy. That is my one request. Y'all so fixated on getting this boy KFC. He didn't ate all the KFC. The KFC is done. The boy that ate all the KFC. All right? He didn't mash up all the KFC. Get that baby some aloe. That's one thing I can say. When he was over in, I believe, Ghana, and he did the massage and everything, they were very much self-care focused. They were very much give him a massage, give him a facial, do this, do that. make him comfortable, whatever. And what I love so much about the Caribbean is that it is vastly different, where it's like turn up from day to night. I do need y'all to be mindful. If Speed comes to y'all country, the boy just be going. He be on stream 24/7. So, kind of look out for him in that way. Get him a little self-care action going. Give him a facial, give him a massage, let him relax. Get him some water. Y'all handle him 200 pieces of KFC. That boy ate 200 chicken legs from KFC. Ain't nobody handed him a bottle of water yet. All right. So I need y'all to be mindful of that. But other than that, good job, great job. Kudos to all my Caribbean brothers and sisters for showing y'all ass. Y'all did that. Big up yourselves. Y'all did that. Especially St. Vincent, Barbados. I felt like Barbados did a good job for. I could see where it was kind of tricky because he had visited some islands in the morning, in the afternoon, or at night. So he was doing multiple islands in a day. He actually did 5 islands in one day. He set that goal of doing 4 islands. Then he found out that St. Martin was split into 2 countries. The French and the Dutch side of St. Martin. So he ended up doing 5 countries in a day, and that's why his ass was falling out. But yeah, I think everybody did a really good job. Barbados did a good job. Y'all know that's my second home. Barbados did a good job of showing him mass, but like in the daytime aspect, St. Vincent, Vincey gave him Vincey mass. That boy had 4 hours. 4 hours on that island, and they put that shit together last minute. I think it was just announced 2 weeks ago that he was coming. That boy had 4 hours on St. Vincent. They gave that man a whole fete, a whole street fete, big truck, fireworks, you name it. Everything that you would see at a Vincey Mass fete, they gave that boy that night. I don't know how they did it, how they pulled it off, but big up yourselves. Y'all did that. Y'all ate that up. St. Lucia, I felt like was good in terms of seeing the recreational side. I feel like some of the islands he did were much better on the recreational side. And that's important to me. I guess because I'm an auntie now, it's not all about the party for me anymore. I feel like people need to know that there are other things to do in these islands, in these countries, besides party. And I think that some of the islands, including St. Lucia, did a good job of displaying the recreational aspect with the water obstacle course that they have out there. There's actually several islands that have that. I know Barbados has it. Somebody was saying, what was that? I want to say Guyana. One of the other islands, or a couple other islands, have the water obstacle courses. I've seen it several times in Barbados and St. Lucia. I'm not that confident in my swim skills, so I don't even play around like that. It's enough to get me to go down a little water slide and jump in the sea. I'm not going to be running around. I'll be ready to fall out in the obstacle course at the gym or in the park, babe. You want me to do an obstacle course on the water? I'm not too sure if my insurance covers that. So yeah, I don't play them type of games. But I definitely seeing them do it, seeing Chloe and Speed do it. Chloe was out there too because St. Lucia is her second home. So seeing them do it together was really cool. I think I want to try it. I'm gonna need some assistance definitely, but I think I want to try it the next time I'm out in St. Lucia or Barbados. But yeah, I just think it's really beautiful what Speed is doing, especially being his age and showing people his age, even older, even younger, that there's so much more to this world, so much more acceptance. And it's not, don't get it messed up just because Speed is who he is. He's a streamer, he's rich, he's famous, yeah, but it's the sentiment, it's the general sentiment that you are welcome, you are accepted when you come over here. As long as you're respectful, you come over here, you're respectful, you love on the people, they will love you back. So I'm glad he's showing that, and it just pushes me to get that message out harder. So big up yourself, Speed. So now we're going to move into a segment called Let Me Put Y'all On, where I put y'all on to things that I discovered in Chicago. So recently, me and my best friend and our sister, that's our sister, period. Shout out to Leasia, shout out to Ashara. We went to a spring Neek party, which was hosted by the Link Up Collective here in Chicago. If you're looking for anything to do, if you're a millennial, Gen Z, Gen X, whatever, they always throw different events for every age group. So We went to their spring Neek party, which was Y2K themed. I went and I found some baby fat at Foreman Mills. My best friend actually found it first. She found it at Foreman Mills. She told me to hit up Foreman Mills because I'm like, where am I? I ain't got. Listen, I was a baby fat queen back in the day, but I'm like, I ain't got none of that stuff no more. So where I'm finna find it? If you're here in Chicago and you're invited to a Y2K party, or a throwback party or anything, they got all that stuff at Foreman Mills, especially for the boys. Not so much for the girls. For the girls, they really only had like baby fat and South Pole, but the baby fat was baby fat and it was cute, top tier. But for the boys, they had everything. They had FUBU, Rockaware, everything. So if you're hitting up a throwback party, Y2K party, go to Foreman Mills. That's not a paid ad, but yeah. Because I know I was struggling to find something. So yeah, we got our baby fat. We went to this party. And it was cool. It was nice. It was actually a free party. It was a free party, so that was dope. The drinks were what you would pay for a drink in Chicago. They had a full bar. They had a bar. It wasn't a full bar, but they had a bar. And they were decent price. Like I said, they were what you would pay for a drink in Chicago. They had a picture booth. The decorations, the spot they had it in was really nice. It was really big, really open or whatever. They actually had tacos. They had like a taco stand or whatever. The one thing I will say is that the age demographic that they kind of catered to, it wasn't millennials. So like really it wasn't a whole lot of people following the theme. They were kind of just like in regular clothes and stuff, and so we in there, we baby fat down like it's 2004, and we kind of was the only ones that was really on theme like that. I would imagine that people had the same issue though, with finding those throwback clothes, throwback brands and stuff like that. So my suggestion, if you're watching this, Link Up Collective, definitely give people more notice, because I think I've always wanted to go to a throwback party, a Y2K party, but it is kind of difficult to find those things now. So just give people more notice so that they can do a little more research, do a little more searching, order online or whatever they need to do. But yeah, so if you're looking for something to do, great events, sometimes free events in Chicago, I would definitely follow the Link Up Collective on Instagram. On a serious note, so in this segment, I want to discuss Black femicide, Black maternal mortality, and how media infiltration and censorship is ultimately impacting both of those topics. I'm sure most of you are aware we have been seeing an alarming rate of Black women being killed by their partners in the media, and just even random situations. This is actually not a new phenomenon, but I think we're now in a space where people are actually starting to take notice. But on average, there are about 20,000 Black women and children that go missing or are murdered in this country every year, on average. So this has been going on for quite some time, and I think that people are actually starting to search for information and paying more attention to the news so that we don't miss anything. And I think that's why now people are able to start waking it up. I need us to be more vigilant. That is why I call for us to come back together, because we need each other and we need protection. Black women need protection now more than ever. Same thing with Black maternal mortality. Another woman died during delivery this week. And then I saw another woman. She was forced to attend a court hearing while she was in active labor because she was refusing to do the C-section that they recommended. They recommended that she have a C-section. She refused. So they basically were trying to lock her up. They basically were trying to put her before a judge and say, hey, if you don't get a C-section, you're going to go to jail. Which is messed up already, but in all honesty, I feel like at that point, once it gets to that point, once she delivers that baby, they're going to try to take the baby from her. They're going to try to take that baby from her anyway. So it's a lot happening as far as, Black women, Black mothers, right now, that we really need to pay extra attention to, extra special attention to. And now it's very, very important that we start to inspect our partners. We inspect the people around us. Because these niggas are killing us and getting away with it. Yeah. So that's a thing. And with media and censorship and everything, they're doing everything they can to dilute the truth and cover that up. But that's what's happening. Because we are the 92%, you know? Feel this heaviness that, there's an attack on us. So we just have to be vigilant. Honestly, if you know me, you know how I feel. I'm ready to get out of here. Like, I'm ready. And I don't mean off of earth. I mean, like, I'm definitely ready to, go beyond the USA. I'm definitely ready to move past the USA and start a life somewhere else where I'm not having to constantly watch my back. Why can't my family just be okay to exist? And you can't tell me that anywhere on this earth, like, there are people that have been existing for centuries, incident free, with no gun, no bullets. Okay? So you can't tell me, like, oh, there's going to be anywhere you go. No, I want to live and raise my family in a place where I don't feel like I have to have a strap on me at all times to protect them. Okay? We shouldn't need protection every second of our lives. I don't know who normalized this shit, but it's not normal. Okay? On a lighter note, let's move into As Seen on TV. Last week, I dropped a review for a show I was watching on Netflix called Baddie. It is a French Caribbean crime drama, the first of its kind, and it is amazing. If you want to see my reviews, my breakdowns, I'm still working through them. I've had a lot going on, but if you want to see my initial review, it is on TikTok and Facebook. It's pretty much everywhere. It actually went viral, so that was pretty cool. It's on Instagram and TikTok. It was on my Facebook. My Facebook got deleted last week. That was a whole lot of drama. So I had to start a new Facebook. But so it went viral across all three of my platforms. So that was really cool. But I had to give this review like such high intensity to get y'all to understand that this show, Baddie, on Netflix, it follows 11 siblings. There were 12. One passed away. Because y'all keep trying to correct me on that shit. It's following 11. Like, God rest Dylan's soul, but the series can't follow Dylan. So, like I said, it follows 11 children navigating life without their mother. But it's awesome. It's incredible. If you have not already, I feel like the whole world is watching now. Netflix France actually reposted my video, so I feel like the whole world is still going up. The video is still going crazy on my page, so I feel like the whole world at this point has seen Baddie. If you have not, please go ahead and check it out on Netflix. It is awesome. They did an incredible job. From what I understand, none of the actors that played in it are professional actors, and so for them to get real people from Martinique, it's based in Martinique, for them to get real people from the island of Martinique to play these roles and tell this story was chef's kiss. Awesome. 10 out of 10. Check it out if you have not already. Next, we're going to move into Past the Ox, where I'll let you guys know what I'm listening to currently. I have been stuck on K1 for probably since the beginning of this year. I'm obsessed with this girl. She is a Nigerian British singer-songwriter. She is queer. She is from the UK. And I am just obsessed with her music. Like, it's something about her tone. She has a very nostalgic feel. And I'm pretty sure she's like way younger than me. But she has this very nostalgic feel. She does like, it's almost like early 2000s R&B. I am obsessed with her sound, everything about her. She has a couple of tracks with Kehlani. Rumor has it they were dating for a while. She's incredible. Her music, everything she drops is fire. Most recently, she dropped a song called Hopeless Romantic. It's very different from her other songs. Her other songs are like, get you to the bed. But this song is like talking about really being in love. Like, I want to be in real love, and just describing what that looks like for her. And it's very much like what it looks like for me. And I just love that song. I love her music. I hope she keeps dropping. Also, speaking of Kehlani, she dropped her new self-titled album this week. And it is fire as only Kehlani can do. Kehlani is definitely my top 3 singers of this generation. I've been obsessed with that girl since The Way. If you know, you know. I have been obsessed with this girl since she was fresh off of what was it? America's Got Talent. Like very much from Kehlani Tsunami, like down. Love this girl. Everything she touches is gold. But this album I feel like is very nostalgic. I feel like it's very her. It's very real R&B. Even the features, you can tell she was very intentional about the features that she chose for this album, and it's incredible. Of course, you know she has Folded on there. Folded did incredible. It did exactly what I thought it was going to do from the first time I heard Folded. You know, there have been other tracks of Kehlani's that I was like, yeah, this is going to be the one. This is going to be the one to wake the people up. But when I heard Folded for the first time, I'm like, yeah, this is it. This is the one. And it just took off. And I'm so proud of her. I'm so happy for her. She has all kind of features. Usher, the clips. That opening track, Another Level with Lil Wayne is crazy. His verse is insane. Like, say what you want about Wayne. I'm not the biggest fan of him as a person, but the man, can't nobody deny his talent. Everything he touches turns to gold too. Like, that verse is very much peak 2006 Wayne. Like, I'm so glad he gave her that verse, because if he would have gave it to anybody else, it wouldn't have hit. It wouldn't have hit the same. That verse is insane. Please go listen to it. She has my favorite track on the album, I would say, is next to Folded, of course. I would say is I Need You with Brandy. Man, it's so R&B. It's so good. It's so good. So y'all, please check out that album, self-titled album. Kehlani, she did her big one on that one. She did her big one. She needs them Grammys. She said, I done got my first one. She said, I done got a taste. I need some more. And so as we close out this first episode of Tea's Hard Truths, I want to leave you all with my hard truth for the day. I think I'm going to do this every week, so I got to give you guys a hard truth every Friday. And my hard truth for today is keep pissing them people off. Things get very hard when you're in certain positions, when you're certain people, when you reach a certain status, or even just in the workplace, if you're working a 9 to 5, whatever you're doing. People be hating. People be mad. People will try their hardest to be your 13th reason. All I ask is that you don't check up out of here, because them folks gonna talk whether you living or dying, all right? These Luciferian folks that's roaming this planet today would love to be someone's 13th reason. Please don't give it to them, because they gonna laugh and talk shit whether you check out of here or whether you stick around. So you may as well stick around and piss them off and get your money, okay? This has been Tea's Hard Truths. I'm your host, T. Thank you all for tuning in. If you have not already, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, comment below, let me know what you think, and I will see you guys next week.